good a description as possible, and just be as forthcoming and provide as much information as possible to police on the scene and in follow-up investigation.
Okay.
Of course, in a situation like this, of course, try to get to a safe place as soon as possible and get away from this person who may have put you in danger.
I guess, is there, did y'all handle this case, do y'all all handle like specific cases the same way, or does each case present its own like formula for how to figure it out?
It depends a lot on what evidence we have available. So not necessarily is everyone going to be done 1, 2, 3. Just depending on what resources are available as far as witnesses, description, that type of thing.
Okay.
Everyone is treated with the same amount of attention. Just not necessarily can you go through the exact steps on each one.
Mm-hmm. So it's been like 6 months since, I guess, the case was reported. Like, when does it, like, how often do y'all conduct follow-up reports, or is it just based on like getting new leads, or is there like a time frame that y'all figure out that y'all need to like figure out this case?
Well, no, not necessarily. We'll work on it aggressively from the time we get it until it's either solved or what have you. But no, it's not necessarily going to get to a point where we say, okay, we really have to focus on it, or until we say, okay, we give up. I mean, it's something that we're going to work on continuously.
Let's see Okay, concerning like the victim, I guess, was he looking to press charges, or is he not looking, I guess, or is it kind of just depend on?
I couldn't tell you. I hadn't seen anything to indicate that he's wanting to drop the case or anything like that, so I really don't have a good answer for you there.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add, maybe about the case that I wouldn't?
I think you covered it pretty well.
Okay. I think I forgot to turn my recorder on at first.
Oh, man.
But no, it's on, but I don't think, because I saw it fall asleep. I saw it turn off for a second. There be any way I could ask you a couple questions again? I'm really sorry about that. I shouldn't not noticed that. Okay. Let's see, where should I start this back? No one's been arrested in the case. I guess you said you were in the process of doing a follow-up, correct?
Yeah, it is under investigation.
Okay. I guess once you have to do a follow-up, what main like things are you looking for when you don't have the very good leads? Like, are y'all relying more on your own resources to try to figure it out? Are y'all relying on the public's help as well, or?
That's a lot of both. We may have somebody come forward and indicate that they know who this person is, and that's always very helpful. There may be a vehicle or a gun or some other type of evidence, or even a person that turns up in another case that we find is related to this one, and of course we'll check our databases for suspects, vehicles, MO that matches this type. See if we can match something up there.
Okay. Was the suspect's act of violence random? Sorry, was the suspect's act of violence random, or did the victim provoke?
It appears that it arose out of a road rage type incident. So, in some aspects, I guess you could say it's random, and in others not. There was some sort of contact that led up to it.
I guess in terms of the road rage, like, if that's what caused it, is that the victim not at fault for that in part as well?
I don't think you could say that because I don't think we have anything to indicate necessarily that the victim did something wrong or intentionally provoked the suspect or anything like that. Of course, in the suspect's point of view, someone may have, and I don't even know what the specific thing was, but somebody may have cut him off or stopped suddenly in front of him or whatever. That's not necessarily anything the victim did, just something the suspect may have perceived.
Were there any witnesses to the crime committed?
No, there were no witnesses that were aware of it this time.
Okay. And you said that the suspect, he appeared to be alone during the crime itself, correct?
Yeah, I don't have anything to indicate that there was anybody with the suspect.
If there was somebody else that was with him, would that person be subjected, I guess, to charges as well for being in the car?
Well, hypothetically speaking, just being in the car, not necessarily. It would depend on what that other person's actions were.
Okay.
So, again, speaking in hypotheticals, it's hard to say
Yeah.
yes or no. It would depend on what that person did and what his level of involvement was.
How often, I guess, do you deal with cases like this? I guess specifically like drive-bys where they are pointing a gun at someone for some incident like a road rage or
a road rage incident that escalates to this level, not very often. We do deal with a fair number of aggravated assaults. Generally those stem from incidents in which people know each other or have had some sort of contact, and they're not necessarily random on most of the time.
And I guess how likely are you to catch a suspect after, I guess, there's no witnesses or very little information regarding his whereabouts?
Well, we never say never, or never give up hope, or never start working on it. Anything could come forward at any time, and any new little tidbit could pop up at any moment, kind of giving us a solid lead to go on. So it's not something I can necessarily put percentage points on or anything like that. Something may happen to where we can break it.
I guess an example would be like if y'all were able to find out the license plate number, would y'all be able to like track the person down to, I guess, where the address he has on?
Yeah, that would definitely be a starting point to say for sure that we'd be able to find the exact person that was in the car. I don't know that I could say that, but yeah, it'd definitely be a good starting point and definitely a good solid lead we'd love to have.
Okay. What punishments come along with an aggravated assault charge?
An aggravated assault is a second-degree felony, and it's punishable by 2 to 20 years in prison and or up to a $10,000 fine.
Okay. And I guess you would get both, I guess, if you were charged. You could get the fine and in jail as well, correct?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Both getting both of those together is an option. Yes.
Okay. When suspects aren't found at first, what steps and procedures do the police take to make sure the suspect doesn't get away with a crime?
We'll follow up with any witness information that we may have. We'll work through any suspect information that we have as far as, in this case, a vehicle description, suspect description. We'll see if it matches up to anything that we have, and we'll work starting at that point.
Okay. And in terms of new leads in this case, you said that the only thing that basically it's just a silver car, and that.
Yeah, we do have very little suspect information in this case. Basically, the only description we have is just a silver vehicle, so very limited information to go on in this case.
Okay. Were there any indications that the victim was related or was friends with the subject, or was this a random between two people that were strangers?
It doesn't appear that they knew each other.
Okay. I guess, is there any cause for concern for the students or the public for, I guess, acts of violence like this, such as like pulling a gun in that particular location?
I'd say no. Again, as I talked about earlier with aggravated assaults, normally this is not something that we see. It's pretty rare that we see like a road rage incident or some incident like this
Mhm.
escalate to this level. Normally, when aggravated assaults occur, it's between people who knew each other, have some kind of history together.
Okay. Let's see. How often do you deal with cases like this, and how likely are you to catch the suspect?
Again, this specific type of assault stemming from a road rage incident, not often that this occurs in
Mhm.
Lubbock anyway. This is one of those cases where at any moment a new piece of information could come to light, or a new lead could open up, and we could have something solid to pursue. So we never say that a case is there's no hope, or this case is unsolvable.
Mm-hmm. How did you specifically handle this case in terms of, I guess, trying to find the suspect?
Again, we'll take the information that we have at hand as far as description and MO and weapon, that type of deal, and we'll just research through what we have and see if we can match that up to a person or a vehicle that we can identify.
Okay. Couple more, that's it. Are aggravated assaults a major problem in Lubbock?
No, again, I'd say normally the cases that we see for aggravated assault stem from either domestic or some other sort of disturbance where the folks know each other, have some kind of history, perhaps limited, but have some sort of familiarity with each other.
Okay. And if a citizen is involved in this type of situation, what would be y'all's best advice for them for both like safety and in terms of like trying to find the person or giving them a better description, I guess?
First off, for their safety, that would be our first concern, that they just get themselves to a place of safety, remove themselves from that situation as quickly and safely as possible, and contact police. As far as from a follow-up perspective, just if they can get any kind of description, the better the description, the better for us, and just try and help us out as much as possible in the follow-up investigation and with officers at the scene as far as providing information and details of what happened.
Okay. Alrighty. Alright.